Here are 7 signs that you'll become rich, even if it doesn't feel like it. I've always wanted to become rich ever since I was young. Even when I was little, I used to charge my family on any money that they borrowed from me from like the ages of 7 and 8, before even knowing what interest was. Which leads me on to the very first sign that you become rich, and that's that you start making money from a young age. One of the most common traits of millionaires is that they all, if not most, started making money from a young age. Look at Warren Buffett. He used to sell Coca-Cola and gum to his neighbours from the ages of 6 years old. Mark Cuban used to sell bin bags or trash bags to his neighbours from the ages of 12. And Richard Branson used to breed and sell parrots from the ages of 11. So if you were that kid, similarly to me, who was going around selling sweets to fund their purchases, you may already be on track to becoming wealthy. But why is that? Well, it may not feel like it at the time, but you are learning and you are developing skills. Skills around money management, inventory management, communication, work ethic. Skills that are going to be transferable in life no matter what you do, whether that's in the workplace or whether you're starting your own business. For me, the selling sweets aspect probably helped me when I started my Amazon FBA business, purely around inventory management, managing my capital, and allowed me to go on and keep buying and selling stock for profit. And just think, the earlier that you make money, the earlier that you'll be able to start multiplying that money through later stages in your life, and the more chance that you have of becoming wealthy. The second sign is that you overcome obstacles and you act quickly. When it comes to business, you've probably had friends that tell you all around this brand new idea that they've got, saying this is going to be the one that's going to make me rich. Only to ask them how the business is going in a few months' time, you realise that they've not even started, they've not even made any movement at all in it. Now, you may have heard the phrase that time kills all deals. And this is the same when it comes to starting anything new. The longer you leave it from idea to inception and execution, the more likely you are to talk yourself out the idea, the initial buzz around the idea is all faded away. So without any serious discipline, the likelihood of you starting that business 2 or 3 months later is incredibly slim. And having ideas but never executing on them is going to annoy you, stress you out just as much as it probably would have done if you started the business in the first place. Trust me, I have been there and I know what it's like to have all these ideas whirring around your head but not actually do anything with them. The same comes from obstacles when you start off in your business. You're going to start off thinking that you are this expert, but you soon realise that there's many hurdles, many obstacles that you need to come through. And sometimes when you get to these obstacles, it gives you a massive headache and you might even stop altogether. A good way to shift your mind around this when you do approach a new hurdle is think that if I get past this, think how much less competition I'm going to have. Think of it this way. If you had a line that you could wait in for 5 years, and at the end of that 5 years, you'd become a guaranteed millionaire, would you stay in it? The likelihood is that a lot of you would say yes right now. Me too. But you got to think, if you were standing in this line for every single day, 24 hours a day, moving ever so slowly, waiting to be the next person, you might wait a couple of days, a week, but the likelihood of you actually waiting in that line for 5 years, even though you could guarantee to become a millionaire, many people will drop out of it. And you've got to think of it the same way in business. Every time you get to a new hurdle, just think you've wiped out so many other people that are at your level. You've now progressed to the next stage with this fewer and fewer competition. The third sign that you're going to become rich, even if it doesn't feel like it, is that you invest in assets as a priority. When you start earning money and you have some excess money laying around at the end of every single month, it's going to be quite tempting to go and spend that money and upgrade your lifestyle. Whether that's treating yourself to a new car, some new clothes, upgrading to the new tech that's just been released, like the iPhone 16. But spending your money on these things is never going to see you a return. In fact, most of the items that you're going to buy are going to depreciate massively. Yes, you may get some slight buzz around buying the item, a bit of a dopamine spike. But when all the buzz and the hype dies off around it, you're going to realise that you're actually no better off with that new item than you were with the old item. And you're definitely not going to be any closer to your goal of financial freedom or building any wealth. So what we should do instead is buy assets, and buy assets now. These assets could be real estate, stocks and shares, investing back into your business, or investing in education as well. Things that are actually going to move the needle and allow you to generate more money. The real trick to generating wealth is not to work for your money, but to make your money work for you. Which is why you may have seen so many high earners over their careers earn crazy amounts of money, but actually end up with pretty much nothing because they've not realised the importance of buying assets. It can be hard, I appreciate, for many that have zero understanding of this and are quite a novice. So what I've done is I've left a link down in the comments for an application called Trading 212, which is where I invest in most of my stocks and shares at the moment. And by doing so, you can get a free share if you use my link of up to £100. So click in there. I would recommend for anybody that's starting out looking at investing in things that are a little bit safer, a little bit more tame, such as the S&P 500. The fourth sign is that you know there's always so much more to learn. Dunning-Kruger summarizes the learning curve the best, which is that when we start out something new and we just start to scratch the surface, we suddenly get a fair bit of confidence thinking, do you know what? I actually can do this. I don't know what all the hype was around or all the stress was around starting out anything new. I'm pretty confident I could do this. That is when we reach the peak of what he calls Mount Stupid. And that is at the point when you realise there's so much more to learn and so much more than you initially thought that you're going to have to overcome. And suddenly your confidence comes crashing right down and you end up in what he calls the valley of despair. At this point, it's super easy to quit, super easy to move on to something new and think the grass is greener over there, whether it's a side hustle of moving from Amazon FBA to dropshipping or dropshipping to SMMA, which is why you may see yourself or your friends always skipping from idea to idea to idea, thinking that something else is going to be so much easier to do, when no matter what, all business is going to have challenges. But once you get out of this valley of despair, you realise that your confidence levels are starting to increase more and more and more as you become actually capable of doing this. And the results that you're going to get will reflect that as well. As your confidence grows, your ability to sell a product grows. As your confidence grows, your ability to invest money grows. The fifth sign is that you're spending time with incredibly or very successful people. Have you ever heard the phrase, show me your friends and I'll show you your future? Well, I personally believe that environment is a massive indicator in terms of how successful or how wealthy someone will be later in life. Even studies have shown that people that hang around with richer friends end up earning 20% more than those that don't. Some of the reasons associated with this is that richer friends might show you better ways of money management and investing, and you picking up on this is known as social modeling, which you see these ways of just being normal. So investing in real estate, investing in stocks and shares because your friends are doing it will allow you to grow. Whereas if you're hanging around with people that don't do this, the likelihood is that you will is pretty slim. These friends might keep you open to new opportunities to invest in as well, and also new opportunities for the workplace. And one that I always think flies under the radar a little bit is that hanging around with richer friends puts you into a lifestyle that you're almost striving to get. If you're somebody that's never had these things, never had the ability to go spend money without really looking at it, and you're around people that can, the likelihood is you're going to want to get to that level just to fit in. So you'll strive more and do better and increase your earning to get to that same level as the peers that you're hanging around with. Just listening to the way that rich people talk about the economy and money is really enlightening. In times where there's a serious down market and the economy is going terribly, rich people are probably going to be investing in stocks and assets because they're so much cheaper than they were 5-6 months ago. Likewise, if the economy is flying up, everybody's happy, everybody's spending money, the rich people are thinking, well, if people are spending money, they should be spending that money with me and offering services and products that they can get people to buy in order to create cash flow for themselves. And the sixth sign is that you stick to your own lane. Comparing yourself to others and their successes without knowing all the hardship and all the pain that they've had to go through can be quite demoralizing at times. Jimmy Carr says that everyone is jealous of what you've got, but not jealous of how you got there. With success being plastered all over social media at the moment, it's almost hard not to get jealous of how well it seems everybody is doing out there apart from you. But for those people where the success is actually genuine and they're not just trying to sell you onto some sort of course, we very rarely see the struggles and the challenges that person had to get through to get to the success and the status that they're at now. We don't see the countless late nights, the 14-hour work days, the endless rejections that they may have had over a 2, 3, 4, 5, 10-year period to become the overnight success that they now are. So when you are starting something new, just focus on your own lane and focus on yourself and increasing your own net worth and your own income. And finally, the seventh sign is that you're confident in your abilities. Have you ever seen a brilliantly talented friend start off in something new and fail simply because of the lack of confidence that they've got? Or on the flip side, seeing a friend who doesn't really have the skills to go and do something, but do incredibly well because of the confidence that they've got and the way that they hold themselves. I see this all the time in my recruitment job. People that are technically brilliant, somebody that can go and do the job, hands down, but when they get in front of an interview panel, they crumble because they are unable to express their skills and just are simply not confident. They make others think they won't be able to do their job, or they downplay their skill sets and they don't look like a team player. This is just as important in a side hustle or a service-based business that you might be starting out. The more confident you are with the results that you can get your client to achieve, the more likely they are to part with their money. Being confident allows you to also take more risks with your money. For example, a person with a limited ability to make money and a limited confidence in their ability to invest money, the likelihood of them investing is pretty slim. Whereas on the flip side, if you've got somebody that's very confident in their ability to make money, and very confident in their ability to invest money, the likelihood is they're going to be investing a lot more of their money, if not all of their money. And they'll be more likely to take risks on investments that bring them a higher return than putting their money into a high interest savings account. And by doing so, give themselves the more opportunity to invest and grow their money year on year than somebody that would have been who is putting that money in that high interest savings account, who isn't confident in their ability to make money. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. There are 7 signs that you become rich, even if it doesn't feel like it. And if you did enjoy the video, why not check out this video that I did on why you shouldn't be saving money in 2024. And as always, drop a like and subscribe, and I'll see you for a new video next week.